Hello, my name is Rodney Rolax. My topic today is going to be on encouraging students to complete their education. Did you know that more than 1 million adults in the state of Virginia have not completed their diploma? That 1 out of every 6 adults walking around today in the state of Virginia do not have a high school diploma. The state of Virginia have 8.7 dropout rate in the state. There are some counties that have even more. There are more of the highly populated counties such as Prince William, Arlington, Alexandria. With that being said, that's a problem to me, because with that rate, it's telling me that there's a lot of students in those counties who's going to add to the problems of the state economy. Because with that being, with the student dropping out of high school, they're either going to end up on welfare or they're going to end up in the juvenile system. Either way, it's not a good ending. The reason I take this so personally, I coach youth from ages 5 to 18 for about 10 years. I've seen some of those players who are very talented. At an early age, they were very smart, they was doing well in school, but for somewhere down the road, they got discouraged. Why? That's what we need to find out. That's my concern, and to me, it should be a community concern. Most students, when they get to the age of 11, 12, they continue, they're still focused, but for some reason, let's say around 13 to 14, they're freshmen in high school, they're at least 10 times likely to drop out of high school for some reason. Some of these things that add to these problems could result from many different reasons. Now, you being in high school, Sierra, what was your challenge? What challenge did you witness for some of your classmates that may have this problem?
Laziness.
You say laziness?
Laziness.
You, Eureka?
No one to encourage them to stay in school.
That's a good point. That's a good fact. See, one of the things that I'm concerned about is what roadblocks are in these kids' life. I've taught at the Adult Learning Center for about 4 months. And during that time, these are adult GED students who decided to drop back into school and pursue their education. And with that being said, they share with me some of their problems and their challenges. I talked to a young lady. She has a 5-year-old, little girl. And she said that was one of her challenges. She could not complete high school by having at the age of 16. She had to drop out to take care of her child. And with that being said, I told her, I said, so what, at this point in your life, what made you decide to drop back in? And she looked at me, she said, every morning she looked at her child. Her child would tell her, Mom, why are we not living in a better condition? Why are these problems happening in the house? Why are the lights getting turned off? And basically what she said, that she wants a better life for her and her child. And with that being said, this is for me, to share with you my personal feeling when it comes to kids dropping out of high school, because I see the future, and it's not going to be a good one. When I see a child decide that they just don't want to go to school, don't want to complete, their homework or whatever the case may be, it's going to lead to them dropping out. If they don't have someone back home to encourage them, this is going to affect the economy one day. It's going to affect the taxpayers, because these kids are going to end up either on welfare or they're going to end up in the juvenile system. Now, some do make it through these, a very low percentage do make it through these situations. But the ones that make it through, it's going to have a support group that's going to help them with that. And with that being said, I would tell you this. I've known some family members, friends, that decided to drop out of high school. Some of them made it through the system, some didn't. Some right now are serving time in jail because that's all they know. With education, it's knowledge. It gives you the knowledge in how to prepare yourself for life. Without it, no telling where you'll end up. More likely, it's going to be the negative situation. But But we want to keep everybody positive. With that being said, these are the facts. Most kids that drop out of high school are 3.5 more likely to be incarcerated. That's a high percentage. We're trying to keep that from happening. We're trying to keep from filling up our jails, our prisons, and just try to keep everybody positive in life, you know, put them in a situation. Most kids just come from low-income families. Remember earlier when I mentioned about the percentage of these counties that's above the state dropout rate. These counties represent at least 20% of the state of Virginia low-income families. That's very high. Most kids that are born in a low-income situation are more likely to drop out of high school than kids that are not. But this is an interesting number. Most kids with a parent who have graduated either high school or college are more likely to graduate themselves. But with you, is that important for you? Let me share that figure with you. That's important for you to graduate from high school.
Yes.
And why is that?
So my child can do the same.
Same thing with you, Eureka?
Same thing.
Good answer. And with that, again, this goes back to when adults drop out, when teenagers drop out of high school, one thing that they end up doing, first thing they seek when they need money is public assistance. We try to keep them away from that. We try to make them more self-sufficient. Get your education, make your own money, and with an education, you're going to come, the money's going to come, but first you got to pursue your education. You cannot get discouraged by not having the money right away. Always continue to focus on your education. The money's going to come one day. And with that, what is your role in your education?
Completing my work.
Completing your work?
Yeah. I guess that's it.
Doing other activities in school?
Yeah.
Because really, I mean, let's be honest, you have to make it fun.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct.
You have to make it exciting. Because one of the things that happens when you're doing other activities in school, extracurricular activities in school, it makes high school fun, correct? It makes you want to go home and study. It makes you want to bring in the good grades. It makes you want to share your knowledge with other kids. Am I right, Eureka?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with that being said, once you complete your education, that's going to lead to better jobs. It's going to better pay, higher education. Once you complete your, your lower level education, you want to get your higher level, your master's, and beyond. You may want to get multiple degrees. And with that, with all that being said, you're going to help your kids. That means when your kids come up through the system, they're going to see that mom and dad did this, I can do it. So no matter what, everyone makes out. And what this doing is helping out the whole community. Because that means your child is going to pass the same information on to their kids. Okay, with that, do you all have any, without information I shared with you, do you have any questions? Any concerns? Well, thank you for your time, and have a nice evening.